How was the Paris Olympics? I guess you could say it far exceeded any expectation that I could have. And honestly, unlike many people in France, I didn't have any negative expectation. I thought it would be good. I think in the end it was beyond good from the overall outlook of the game, how it looked on TV, how easy it was to move from one event to another, how the ticketing was working perfectly. Even to the last minute, you could buy tickets to almost any event every day. And yeah, I guess. We are all very proud of how it went and how it looked, in particular on TV. Obviously, I always felt that it would look good on TV, but it was beyond everything that I could imagine. What I think was missed maybe on the broadcast side, I thought the broadcast was as expected, which is very good. But when I went to a few events, I saw that there were so many cameras that I felt were somewhat underused. It's always an issue when you're dealing with such big scale event that sometimes you're going to put a lot of, you know, value in terms of production, and then you're not going to use all of that value that you have access to because it's very hard to be very innovative, when it comes to a world feed broadcast. It needs to fit the purpose of, most of the countries throughout the planet. And so, if I feel that something could be improved, it would be in that regard, find a way to maybe in the future with all the technology accessible, maybe build either multiple world feed or used all of those great tool that they had in place for the Olympics. But I must say it looked good. What I think was missing as well was the fact that in some competition it was kind of hard to. It was missing some graphics because whether it was during the opening or closing ceremonies, I think you would need more information through graphics. And I think in some events like cycling or mountain biking, you were lacking a few stuff through graphics, through, GPS data tracking, for example, to be able to follow the race more easily, especially since you usually, using the remote control a lot and moving from one event to another. And then you go to suddenly the bike race and you want to know, okay, who's in front, who's following, what's the space between the number one and the second. And I think you could use also a bit more graphics, and I hope in the future they will rely on that more. And honestly, one of the big success, in my opinion, were the graphics used, for example, in the 100 meters, because I think it was terrific to really explain what was going on. From the speed of each racer throughout the 100 meters, to the positioning through graphics, that was super useful to really tell the story of what had happened. And I think in LA 2028, we will see more of that with obviously, probably more, 3D graphics, 3D rendition of what is happening in the stadium. And all of that, I think, will be, maybe even, more 3D volumetric video. We had some of that for replay purposes, but I think you can go a step further in terms of using that to explain more, analyze more what is happening, specifically in the event and sports that you don't know as much as basketball or football. And I think we're going to see more of that in the future. But to be honest with you, I was absolutely ecstatic moving from one event to another, whether it was on site and I've been to quite a few events, or whether it was watching on TV. I thought it was really good, and you need to commend OBS for doing such a great job. As somebody who's so deep into innovation, I just wish for even more for the next Olympics.